So we're going back to episode 2 because fuck Miley Cyrus. She did exactly what we said she was going to do.
I'm almost getting ready to have people take bets on the things that we say on here, because if we keep being so accurate, we should start making some fucking money off of it. Jesus Christ.
We're going to start putting our cash apps on the descriptions.
Hell yeah. Like, hit us up. Tell $5. I got $5 on this happening by next week.
I got $20. Said her feet still going to be nasty next week.
Dude, on God. It's one of those things where I can't believe this is what we're starting with again, because she's just so not worth giving the effort to.
I know, but I had to because we did call it. She did exactly what we said she was going to do.
She's back in the studio trying to work with people. She's fucking put hot girl summer. Like, fucking dude, no one wants to see your dirty ass feet. That's your hot girl summer, fucking walking on gross ass pavement. Like, I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested.
Hold on, you brought up the hot girl summer thing. So somebody put the video, like a picture of the video up of her twerking next to like chicken breasts in a package. They were like, I don't see the difference.
Did you guys see that viral video of the people's fucking chicken at it was like a restaurant where you cook your own food at the station, and the people's raw chicken started crawling off the fucking plate for some reason. No idea why. No idea if it was like a zombie virus or if it was like infested with either way, that's the video they should have put next to it.
That is, oh, ew. All right. Well, welcome to episode 7. 7, right?
7.
We're on 7? Okay. 7.
I hope so.
Of the Raps and Raps podcast. I'm your host, MC, alongside of some of my best friends in the whole wide world. To my left is Amanda. To my right is Jesse.
Woo.
How are you guys doing today?
So good.
Yeah.
I like that your answer's so good, and I'm just so like we don't live together, like we don't live the same lives,
Staying
and stuff like
optimistic.
that. And I'm just like, oh God, it's another fucking day.
You see the two sides of the coin, like how, and then sometimes when I'm really depressed, she's the one that's like, oh, today is so beautiful. Did you see that cloud formation? And I'm just like, where's the shotgun?
Jesus, that got
took a
dark
left.
quickly.
Oh God.
Anyways, no, it's just been a long fucking week. Like, God, rent was due this week. Just passed the 1st. Just passed, like, garbage. Who was really having a good time the first week of August? Back to school shopping. For me, not even fucking kids. It's for me at this point. I'm a college student. This shit sucks. I thought I was done with this.
Huh? Your semester starts this month or next month?
No, this month. It starts in like 2 or 3 weeks. And it's very, very irritating because I'm like, shit. I got to do back to school shopping. I got to deal with all the parents doing back to school shopping. My rent was due. My tuition's due. Everything's due. It's the beginning of the month. No one likes August. It's the end of summer. It's like you enjoyed it and now it's done. When is the end of summer?
Is that like September? Is that in August?
I mean, for me, I think as they've made shit earlier and earlier, like as school has started earlier and earlier within the year, and you have to do all the back to school shopping and you have to deal with like all of the events and summer camps and orientations and workshops and just the million things that go on, it seems like just in the month of August. Now, there's no fun in August. To me, that marks the end of summer.
Unless you're an adult. Now you can go out, go do shit. There's no lines. There's no children up until about 3 o'clock, depending on where you are. I love this time of the year.
But I'm talking about right now.
Get out of here.
In this moment where everywhere you go, it is a child with their parent doing some sort of shopping, doing some sort of like, fuck off.
Can't get a haircut right now.
Yeah, fuck. I can't go to the dentist right now. Can't go to your fucking doctor. All the kids are getting their vaccinations.
You should have been trying to fix your grill way earlier in the year. Like, you shouldn't have waited until the last 2 weeks before school started. Yeah, for real. Like, all right, so I'm actually going to play a song for you guys as well because I don't even think I let you guys hear it all. And I think Ill Addicts will be all right with if I played the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing. But they just dropped a song called Double Mint. Everybody go stream it. If you're listening right now, go stream it. It's on Spotify. So go stream it. Go look at them. Go give them a like. Go do everything you can to support these men.
Worst case, just play it all the way through. Hit them up on Twitter. If they say it's not cool, just cut it, and you're good. Just be like, yeah, no, for sure, I didn't do that. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. That would have been dumb. You guys are right. You're right.
I'm sorry.
Let's go. All up in my face talking shit. Wouldn't mind as much if the odor wasn't shit. Plus what made it worse with the large amount of spit. Might as well just change your name to Flip. Let's get it. Do you need some double mint? Can you spit it out? Are you done with it? Let's go chew a pack for the fun of it. Here's some mouthwash, you could have some of it. Hey, do you need some double mint?
I honestly love how the song's all about how somebody's breath stinks. That's what the whole song is about.
Before talking to me, it's like you mix with everything and everything. Put some weed, it's like you doing everything, but just ain't brushing your teeth. You need a tic-tac or a tic-tac. Man, that shit do got a cake back and let me mix smash. Man, that's where you want some shit patch. You need to relax. Man, I got this double mint up in my pocket. If you need it, dog, I got you up.
Do you need some double mint? Double mint. Can you spit it out? Are you done with it? Done with it. Let's go chew a pack for the fun of it. Here's some mouthwash, you could have some of it. Hey, do you need some double mint? Double mint. Do you need some double mint? Double mint. Mamma mia!
So that was Double Mint by fuck. That was Double Mint by the Ill Addicts. What'd you guys think of it?
That was good.
That was dope?
Yeah.
I thought it was dope too.
It's one of those shows of talent where it's like people, when they think about kind of rap music or hip hop or whatever, and all you rap about is money and bitches and weed. They just straight up did a song. Hey, your breath smells bad as hell. That's amazing.
They can do a song about anything.
Anything, it seems. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a really dope ass song.
Talent, yeah.
And I don't know who their producer is. I'll probably try to hit him up about that. But their producer is amazing for that sample.
Right? That was a good little
That was-
beat with
yeah,
it too.
That was
That
amazing
was
sample in there.
it was so simple, so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really didn't have anything to shoot the shit with today, but I figured we could. I've been seeing something on the timeline lately, and I don't know if the Joe Budden podcast started it because Joe said that Pusha T was a better rapper than Lil Wayne.
Oh.
But figured we could get into that because it's been popping up a lot lately. Other people have been talking about it. So what is your... So the definition of it is Pusha T a better rapper than Wayne from 2006 to 2009? And is that Wayne's prime? And is Pusha T in his prime right now?
That's a lot of questions at once, I feel like, to bring up, because no matter how you answer that, it somehow leads into how you're going to answer those other questions, because it's like, for me personally, Wayne bodies Pusha T during that time period.
Oh, well, yeah, most definitely.
No question, no doubt about it. I have more memorable songs from that time period that I think of from Lil Wayne than I would ever think of from Pusha T. But that also then leads into, you know, would I say that was Lil Wayne's peak? No, absolutely not. The man has a fucking 20-year spanning career now. Like, no, I absolutely do not think that 2006 to 2009 was his peak. Was it a beautiful time period for him in regards to like the Carter and shit? Like yes, absolutely. But I wouldn't call that like his prime or his peak or anything like that. And I wouldn't call it Pusha T's either. You know, to assign that label to an artist, I think is so domineering. Like that defines someone's career. Why would you kind of claim that they have a peak? They don't have to have a peak. Like Lil Wayne has been consistently good. I don't think he's dropped off. Has he had less album sales on certain ones? Yes. But his talent hasn't changed.
But lyrical ability hasn't changed over the years.
Yeah, like I feel like he is a solid ass rapper, and he always has been. So to be like, yeah, that was his prime. No, I'm pretty sure his prime has been the entire time, and we don't even know what Lil Wayne's going to drop 5, 10, 15 years from now. We don't know what he's going to look like at 40 or at 50. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so to make that claim is so, I don't want to say dangerous, but it's so bold and it's so ill-timed. Just because, I mean, how that's just...
Well, they were just
illogical.
speaking of lyrical ability, and somebody that wasn't in the podcast from Joe. That was later on when somebody was like, "Oh, is Pusha better than Wayne at this time era?" And I never want to put a timestamp on somebody's time era of lyrical ability because you can have a better time, like you can have a better years, I guess you could say, on album sales, on what was dope, what was popping on the radio. But personally, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
If you're dope, you're dope. If you're not, you're not. So I need to see a catalog of dopeness, and I feel like both artists have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my standpoint. But I like Pusha T. That's for me. I like Pusha T.
It might just be one of those things where Wayne had the right management behind him, I guess you could say, to advertise what he was doing. That's why all Lil Wayne's shit. So anybody who heard that who isn't like super into the knowledge would absolutely be like, no, Wayne's better because he was just so much more advertised than fucking Pusha ever was. Like,
yeah, and he dropped off from the Clips too, because I don't know if you guys knew that, but Pusha T was a part of the Clips with him and his brother. And he dropped off there, and I don't think it was around till I want to say 2009, maybe 2011. I could be wrong, when he finally dropped his first solo project as just Pusha T.
See, and that's something else to bring up is the idea of, is now Pusha T's prime? I mean, I think you should allow an artist the space to grow no matter what. You know what I mean? Pusha T has been around for a really long time, just like Wayne has. So I think giving him the opportunity to make those strides, to kind of make his own moves, make his own name like he has been for years. It's just to compare those artists and be like, which one's better? Which one was in their prime then and prime now? It just, I don't know. I just find that to be so extra. Like, they're both very good artists in their own right, but they've been on their own paths for years. You know what I mean? And it's not like we're going to fucking all of a sudden be like, oh, yeah, look at the fucking Lil Wayne and Pusha T battle. If that happens, maybe I'll be down to compare them. But until then, I feel like I just have to respect them as artists in their own rights. And fucking, I don't think anyone's prime has necessarily come and gone, whereas even now, I just think it's really dope with the growing of the industry in general, getting to see what artists are getting to do now, whether it comes to streaming platforms, whether it comes to new musicality, whether it comes to videography now. I think every artist has the ability for growth and should be allowed that without the comparison factor.
Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of thought it was kind of disrespectful to say either one of them had a prime in a certain time, because if you really look at Pusha T's discography, he's kind of been putting out heat on the low. Obviously, it hasn't been as mainstream as Wayne has been, but Wayne has a lot longer of a career altogether. So you can't say that somebody's less mainstream than the other when Wayne has a bigger career. I'll say that. Wayne has a bigger career than Pusha T has.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Pusha T's discography to me, is just as dope as Wayne's. I can't discredit either discography.
I don't like how people keep bringing up Pusha T as he keeps having problems and beef with people. Like, he had his problem with Drake, and now he's had, like, they're trying to do this thing with, like, what? I just want to see him as an artist and the material he's putting out, not his issues that he's having with people and the songs he's going to put out about that. No, I just want to see him as an artist, and maybe that's all due to his management. Like,
well, I think definitely the shot at Drake on Daytona was placed for a reason. But at the same time, that goes back to, we don't know when artists actually wrote a song, when they recorded a song. Like, he could have been sitting on that song after Two Birds, One Stone came out, and we don't know. And then he just redid it and left that line in there.
I think it's really interesting because that became such a career-defining moment for him. And I don't even think it was, I mean, in his perspective, I couldn't imagine he intended it to be like, he was just fucking dropping his disses, fucking dropping his bars, doing his shit, you know what I mean? Fucking listening through word of mouth and sources. Like, every artist, every rapper that's out there right now has dropped bars in some manner that can be considered bold or can be considered instigating, you know what I mean? But for this to have blown up and snowballed like it did, and for people to turn around, and I mean, some people in the current generation of listeners, you know, in that Gen Z, you know, those 15, 16, 17-year-olds, that's all they know Pusha T from. That's all they know him from, is the idea of like, oh, he beef with Drake. Yeah. He beef with Drake. Oh, he called his baby mama ugly. Oh!
Well, I don't even think it's that. He's the only artist that has bodied Drake.
That's not hard.
No, I get what you mean. He's the only artist who has been confrontational enough to take it that far, and he hasn't been able to be saved by his affiliations with Nicki or with Wayne, or his affiliations with his management and OVO, and, you know, all those different things. I totally get what you're saying in that manner, where that was And maybe that's part of why it was so career defining. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
a
I
few
definitely
years
think it
before,
was, like you said, for the 15, 16-year-olds because they watched the Meek Mill and Drake beef.
Yep.
They watched him beef with Joe Budden.
Yep.
Nobody was able to do it. But here comes Pusha T, who figured all this out from 40. We spoke about that a while ago. He found all this out from 40 and put it in a song and was like, fuck you, Drake.
And the interesting thing is Pusha T is kind of an old head too. You know what I mean? He's not.
And I think that's why the
Yeah.
diss was so vicious. He comes from an era of no rules.
Right.
Like, if you look back on the Nas and Jay beef, like, nowadays, that's like, oh, well, whatever. But back in the day, that was a
That was
vicious
heavy.
beef. Like, he said something about the car seat and his kids being on his wife's face. Like, there was a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no,
that
it
was a
heavy.
vicious beef. And that's where Pusha T comes from.
Yeah.
Because Pusha T just came out not too long after that. Because that was funny that you said that's where all the kids remember him from. Because all I remember Pusha T from originally is, "Brrr, what happened to that boy?" That's how I remember him. But now that we're on the topic of Drake, did you guys happen to see the tweet from Hip Hop DX?
We talked about it briefly a couple of days ago, but I did see what you were talking about in them bringing up the possible discussion of Drake being a GOAT. And their kind of their categories for it, their definitive.
Their criteria for being a GOAT was longevity, 8+ years, a catalog that has 3 projects that are great or classic. And I want to stop there real quick because sorry. You can't have a great or classic album. Because if that's the criteria, T.I. has to be in the conversation. Ludacris has to be in the conversation. Young
plethora.
Jeezy has to be in the conversation.
There's so many
There's
artists,
a million
yeah.
artists that can be in that
Exactly,
conversation
yeah.
for great albums.
Yeah,
Not classics, great.
but just great.
So,
Yeah.
So for Hip Hop DX to say that was kind of like I'm kind of questioning who's running your Twitter or who made that criteria.
Right. And I mean, who even brought him into the conversation in the first place? Just because there is such a difference between being a legend and being a GOAT. You know what I mean? Do we even consider Drake a rapper? That's first and foremost. Do we even consider him a real rapper? Do we consider him a real MC? He doesn't fucking freestyle. He doesn't battle rap. He's not fucking capable of writing his own shit half the time.
Yeah.
Like, he has popularity and he has longevity, don't get me wrong. And yes, you say Drake and that name around the world will ring bells. He is a legend. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To be a GOAT, you have to have that musicality. You have to have that lyricism. You have to have that wordsmithing, but it also goes beyond that. I think to be a GOAT, you have to also kind of go into the project of being kind of not necessarily a master, but I think you need to be a jack of all trades. I think you need to also get your way into producing. I think you need to get your way into mentorship of newer artists. I think you need to get your way into label owning. And I think everything Drake has done has been strategic and it's been a power move, but it's just been legendary. It's just been to make the name Drake.
And OVO.
Yeah. And so I just think, yeah, he's put his hand into different business ongoing deals and things of that sort. And yeah, he's kind of doing his own thing with OVO. And yeah, he has some albums that are really, really, really known. What are you doing for the streets? What are you doing for mentorship? What are you doing for new up and coming rappers? What are you doing for the current dealings within the music industry? What do you do to bring light to either current issues or current overcomings and great withstandings? And you know what I mean? And that's the thing is I think when you bring up a GOAT conversation, the reason why Jay-Z is always at the forefront of people's brains is on top of being the artist that he has fully encompassed what it means to take the music industry by storm in total, whether it comes to streaming, whether it comes to different platforms, whether it comes to even his marriage, even social media, whether it comes down to his business dealings and how he chooses to invest, all the way down to the fact that he mentors, he travels the world and he works with people and he talks to people and he is so at the forefront of the industry.
Of a lot of social issues too.
Like, Drake is the type of person where he raps and, he sings about the most emotional, bitch-ass crybaby things. But in real life, he is the most fucking aloof, mysterious fucking disappearing ass, doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. Like,
Didn't even know about his son for how long?
Like, I
Almost
do
a year,
not
I think.
Yeah.
find him to be able to be in the GOAT category when there is that air of hip hop fucking celebrity status of I'm too good for all of this. Like, I don't know. I've just always gotten that from Drake. And so I don't think he could be in the GOAT category because he might hit the celebrity status. He might hit like, oh yeah, he's had albums. He's been around for a long time. You know his name. But it goes so much deeper than that. There are plenty of artists that are that popular. I made this comment to you. Riff Raff's been around for 8 years. He was on G's and Gents. He's been around forever. Are you going to call him a GOAT next?
Yeah, Riff Raff's been around for like 10 years.
Like,
plus.
is he going to be the next fucking GOAT? Is it going to be anyone who's been around for enough amount of time? Is it going to be anyone who we know just from anything? Because it's like...
Yeah, you're just giving it to anybody at this point.
Exactly. To say that that's the only criteria and it doesn't go any deeper than that, well, a million people can hit those criteria. Like, there's so many different artists.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk about being a GOAT, you didn't even mention anything rap specific. That could be fucking Taylor Swift, bro. That could be Taylor Swift at that point.
I
Like,
didn't think about that. She's not the GOAT. I would put Drake at the greatest of all time as an entertainer.
yes, in an entertainer category, I could absolutely see
Like
that.
a Elvis Presley.
Right.
Yeah, he
Or-
does
or
what the
Taylor
people want.
Swift.
But
Yeah.
when you talk about GOATs, that's not where the conversation leads usually, unless you specify it. And Hip Hop DX would not be talking about it on a broad scale like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what was weird to me because I've never known them to not be a credible source. So for Drake, even though it was consensus in the tweets, like who commented, a lot of people commented Drake. And I get that if it's whoever's just sitting there like, oh, Drake's obviously in the contenders because 30 or 40 plus people have said Drake's name. But in a world where Drake and Jay-Z are in the same category, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Or a Styles P, or a Jadakiss, or the whole Wu-Tang Collective.
I was just about to be
I
like,
don't-
if someone looked at me and was like, Drake's a GOAT like Wu-Tang is, and I'd be like,
No, nowhere near.
you're telling me that ODB and Ghostface are going to be on the same level for you as fucking Drake?
How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. How for one, but no, never. Sorry. That is I know, I will. Yeah, no, fuck that. They can't be in the same category.
No, absolutely not.
And I thought it was weird that they said what great or classic albums. For you guys personally, can you name a Drake album besides So Far Gone?
I was just going to say the only one I can actually name is Take Care. And then, oh man, you're going to literally look at me and be like, you're so fucking young, I hate you. My senior year, like right when it ended, is when If You're Reading This, It's Too Late came out. I remember because I was
But we
working.
can't consider that a Drake album because that was a collab album.
Right, but I'm still like, but that's all I can really name, and I just remember it being a really, really big deal at the time because I went into work and everyone was like, "Oh my god, have you heard some of the?" Da-da-da-da-da-da-da?" But like again, it's just because of popularity. It's just because Drake has that name. I can name those albums. I can't name any songs off of them.
I would say Take Care is probably his only classic album.
Yeah,
'Cause
I would absolutely agree.
I would say that's the only one. I wouldn't even say So Far Gone.
Is that the one with his head in the clouds?
Where his sideburn looks like the five?
No, I want to say Take Care is the one where he's sitting
No,
at
no,
the
I'm
table.
not. I'm saying is So Far Gone the one with his.
No, that was his first album that he put out.
What one
That
is the one with
had-
his head in the clouds that Lil Nas X looked better? He's trying to do the album cover. He's like, guys, I just don't see how you guys seem to think this is related to Drake. Like, this is my own art.
I thought of this.
I fucking love him.
Yeah. Lil Nas X is great. Oh, now we're on him. Shout out to him. Longest running number one.
Hell yeah.
Go him. Mariah Carey is salty.
All bitter
Oh,
and
she's a
shit, but
salty
pretending
bitch.
like
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
oh, congrats.
Like, congrats. Like, no. Fuck off, Mariah Carey.
Oh, do you guys hate Mariah Carey?
No, I don't have any personal feelings towards her, but I just picture her being a bitch.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. She's way too rich.
See, but she is that genre of that diva music. So you need her. You need the Mariah Careys and the Whitney Houstons. You need them.
Are we not going to go back and finish the conversation we were just having about Drake albums that are known? And are we just going to move
They're
on?
not.
Now?
We're
Oh,
done.
yeah,
We're
no,
done.
Nothing
They're
was
not,
the same was the
so-
album you're thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See,
And yeah, I was right. Take Care is the one where he's at the table
obviously
with
it
all
was the
gold.
same Drake because I think all your albums are the same.
Oh,
Like,
jeez. Yeah, I completely stopped listening after More Life. After More Life, I was like, I don't want to hear anything from you.
I think if like I'm sad enough, there are certain songs I'll listen to by Drake. But other than
Are you
that,
drinking by yourself listening to Trust Issues?
wow, no. But
No,
that
Marvin's
brings
closet.
Oh, Marvin's Room.
Marvin. Oh no, Marvin's coming out the closet.
I'm just letting you know, if Marvin's Room was coming on in a party at the time it came out, I was about to fuck a girl's life up that night.
Jesus Lord.
I don't no. But that brings up. I remember breaking.
Look,
like
see?
I remember my ex and I broke up,
Here we go.
and I remember she was like a huge Drake fan, and I remember listening to Take a Shot for Me and just feeling like, yeah, she's a loser ass bitch. And guess
Yeah.
what? Years later, she is still a loser ass bitch.
Oh,
So I mean, I
loser
called
ass
it.
Fuck you, girl.
Yeah. Never even met you, but fuck you.
I thought this was going sideways. I thought you could be like, I heard Trust Issues, and I was all, whoa, whoa.
No, but Take a Shot for Me, like that was
Captioning all
my
your
shit.
Instagram pictures.
I was 18. I couldn't even drink yet at the time, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, take a shot for me. Like, what the? What was I on?
I guess. Oh, the only other thing I had to say was impact. That was one of their criteria. Was impact. What has the artist contributed to the culture?
And that speaks to, like I was just saying, if you say the word Drake anywhere in the world, you're likely to get a response. He has had an impact. Plenty of people will know his name, but he has not contributed, in my opinion. Like, that speaks to him being an amazing entertainer. But when you're talking about the culture of hip hop, rap, and I just want to say, like, black people in general, no, I do not see Drake as adding anything.
Well, I was going to say, other than stealing flows and making them his own and popularizing them in the U.S.
And stealing
I
slight
haven't-
hooks from other people that he
Yeah.
changes the words just enough so they can't sue him.
Making Party Next Door disappear.
Oh, hey, Weeknd put out a picture. You guys see it?
Yeah.
No.
You saw it?
No, I'm saying yeah, he did. Like
Yeah.
what?
It was a picture that just said XO. It was a big-ass billboard in Toronto. And he was like, great things shall come.
Well, I fucking hope so, dude. We've been waiting like 2 years.
Has it been that long?
I think it wasn't last summer. It was the summer before.
The
It
last
was-
song I remember from him was I Can't Feel My Face.
It was the album he
Oh,
did.
Starboy.
That and he
With Daft
he-
Punk.
He took no, but he fucking, I don't know if he released a whole album or if it was just a mixtape, but he fucking went on tour, and I remember that, and that was the last we heard from him. I just know because my manager went to that tour and he showed me videos of the fucking light show, and I was looking at it like, God damn, I really hope they had an epilepsy warning. Fuck.
Oh, geez.
Like, no, dude, the Weeknd's shit, it was a pew, 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 pew. I was tripping balls. Dude, I'm standing there. It's like 4:30 in the morning while we're standing there trying to fucking start up the grills and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Are we watching a Star Wars trailer? Like,
What the fuck? Pew, pew. Paching, paching. Okay.
no, but I would be very excited to hear something new from him, especially after his last relationship ended. He is back with
The model.
Yeah, I don't remember which one she is.
I don't know how to say her name.
It's is it Bella or Gigi? I think
Bella.
It's Bella
I don't know how to say her last
Hadid
name.
or Hadid or something like that.
I don't want to mispronounce it.
ASAP fucking Fergs. Bella and Gigi.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that's what you made me think of just now. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that name.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, since we are we done with the Drake topic?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I've been done.
Oh, so who would you say is in the contenders for a GOAT right now? Not years ago, right now. Who would you say? I would say from 2010 to now.
We discussed this before about how we were thinking like
Both Kendrick and J. Cole have amazing potential.
obviously, but then there was
I'm putting Cole higher than Kendrick now.
who was I
After
talking
Revenge
about?
of the Dreamers 3.
And all the other stuff that he's done recently in his communities and other communities.
Was it Pharrell that we were talking about, or was it T.I. who started giving money to the?
Oh, that was Pharrell.
That was
Yeah.
he was who I thought as well could be a contender.
I would
at
put him in a
least.
separate GOAT category. Like, he's in Kanye's. Because Kanye doesn't write his own music, but Kanye is a phenomenal producer.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, he makes splashes when he does something, even if it's not what he does. So I don't know. I like him.
Okay, so I'll let you have Pharrell on that one.
I mean, it's really hard because there are so many artists that
I
are
just
making
mean
their
contender.
waves. I know, but like there are so many artists making their waves who could turn around and fuck it up. Like I would definitely like to continue watching Kendrick. I would like to see what he continues doing. Interestingly enough, I also want to see what Wayne does over like the next 15 years.
Okay. I see. I want to say like, yeah, I agree with you, but to me, he's already solidified his spot as a GOAT.
No, I totally understand. I just think because of
That's why I'm saying take Wayne out.
right, because it's not even considered a contender at that point. He just already is.
Yeah, I'm just saying contender. Like like Meg is. Do you think Meg has it?
And that's interesting because
This is me separating
yeah,
men from women. She's in the general.
Yes and no. She's still so early in her career. I feel like would I put her as a contender? Possibly. Yeah, absolutely. Possibly. She's making really good waves. She's giving back to the communities. She's really about positivity. She interacts with fans. She's about working with other artists. She's really uplifting. She does a lot of shows. And I think that's something else that's really important. It has to do with interacting and like, do they go on tour? Do they fucking actually put on shows? Can they do a live performance? And so she hits all of those criteria, but with only having Tina Snow and Fever out right now, and Tina Snow is technically just a mixtape, and Fever I think is also only supposed to be a mixtape because she's technically working on her debut album right now.
And that's where that line gets kind of iffy.
Exactly.
But we're not going to get into that right now.
But so I mean, would I put like possibly? Absolutely. I think it's just so early to tell with her because she didn't even really hop on the scene until 2016.
Okay.
So that's still really early in the category for me. But
What about Chance?
no, but while we're on the topic of like how you had said you're doing the separation of like with the women and men and how let's just make it a general category, I think I would actually put Nicki as a contender. Absolutely.
Ooh, bold statement.
Yeah. It feels super bold as someone who's
Why?
not even a fan of her really, especially anymore. Not that I was ever a really big fan of her. I just remember like liking some of her music. I just think she has done quite a bit. And I won't just say even for women in the industry, but that is, I think, a really important distinguisher and like signifier to make. She did make really big waves as a female MC, and then to turn around, I think some of her early work is so good. She has that lyricism, she has that wordsmithing. While she has had her controversy and her problems, plenty of artists have, she has turned around and she gives really good live performances. She has that longevity. She has that impact. She's starting to work with newer artists and is being really uplifting. She's kind of started her outreach into other types of businesses with her Queen Radio and podcasting and fucking kind of signing into different business deals and kind of reaching out. And I just think that if her focus can go right, I just think if it's such a hard line, I just think she's very much tiptoeing it, if that makes sense. Like, I think she could
I
fuck up
understand
in
that.
one more controversy. I'm just going to be like, I'm fucking done with Nicki. She's fucking annoying. I don't want to hear anything else from her.
I feel that.
But on the
I
other
wouldn't-
hand, I'm like, damn, I cannot ignore the career and the name you've made for yourself.
Well, I guess the biggest problem with her controversies is Safari has a career of controversies,
Right.
and that's where a lot of them came from. He's on Love and Hip Hop. That's what gets numbers, is controversy. And that's where a lot of it stemmed from in early 2015, 2016, all the way up until 2018. It was still a fucking thing when it's like, oh my God, nobody understands that this is what this man makes a living off of. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to put too much on the controversy on her. And then the Cardi B thing, I don't think had anything to do with anything in specific. It was all fans hyping things up because like Cardi B came on and was like, oh, you got Nicki the fuck out of here. Like,
Right.
how did you get somebody the fuck out of here that paved the way for Cardi?
And again, I think that just ties into she has done so many significant things for the culture. And I think you say the name Nicki and you recognize it. You know what I mean? And again, it's just such a line to tiptoe. But if I'm going to put in a contender that I'm like, wow, she has been around that long. She's been able to stay in the spotlight. She's maintained her career. She's maintained herself. Like, while she's had brief controversies, it's never been anything fucking extreme. You know what I mean? I just, like, with everything I've seen from her, it's like, okay, like you have solidified your spot. At the very least, she's a legend, but I think she's tiptoeing that line as a contender. And it'll be interesting to see what she does like in the next 10 years. I would love to see her start her own label that's maybe for like up and coming women artists or something like that. Or I would love to see her start a label that mainly is for like East Coast artists specifically, like coming out of the Brooklyn, Queens area. Like, I think there's so much she could do.
So Queen Records.
Right. But I think there's so much she could do, and she has so much potential. I definitely see her tiptoeing that line.
Okay. So what about Chance, though?
I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. That's all I hear now.
Damn, we haven't even got into that.
I know. We didn't even get to that, and that's all I'm hearing when you say his name. I don't quite know if, in my opinion, he has the impact yet. Like,
I would say for Chicago he does. Not
absolutely.
for a nationwide.
And we're also talking international on top of that. You know what I mean? Because do you think that he would also get to that level of being so representative of hip hop and the culture?
Yes. Because he is so independent. He's definitely going to start a wave of something we've never seen before. It's going to be a whole new way that these streaming platforms and these labels are going to have to figure out all over again.
Do you tie that into him doing the Chance the Rapper LLC?
Yeah. Because that's something we've never seen before, I don't think. I'll put it that way. I've never looked into every single artist that's put an album out.
Right.
But for him to be so popular as he is, to not be on a label and put his own album out under his own LLC, that's a little wild.
Yeah.
So
at the same time, within a few weeks of him releasing all of his re-releasing all onto streaming platforms.
And that was my next point. It's on all these platforms that no record label is getting a piece of, probably.
Yeah.
Somebody's mad. There is some white man in upper management at Atlantic and Sony that's fucking pissed right now that Acid Rap went back into the number 5 top 10 albums, and they didn't get a piece of it.
I don't know. I think he's absolutely a contender, but again, it's just kind of seeing what he does. Because as of right now, he's not quite a household name. I think he could make that impact, but like, for instance, for Chicago, he absolutely gives back to Chicago. He always had. He's always been for the people, for his fans. He responds, he interacts, he's great at live shows. He has a lot of variety in his performances and in his personality. He talks about a lot of things. He sings about a lot of different things. I mean, he is a very, very good artist. I just think for me, he doesn't quite have that household name yet. He doesn't quite have that longevity to be like, yeah, this is this, and this are all classic albums. Because I think that's something else is maybe for me with him just releasing this most recent one and kind of being so iffy on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I think that's part of it is like, I don't think there can be, I think there can be the occasional bunk album from a GOAT, but there are some albums that just don't do as well as others that you just don't like as much. And that's always going to happen with an artist. Like, you might not like, I
just always go back to Wayne. That's my problem. Is whenever I put a GOAT or Jay-Z, like,
yeah,
honestly,
you're like, I like everything.
Yeah, there's not an album and or song that I guess
there's I guess there's little things that you're allowed to like disagree with or not really jive with, like, oh man, I don't really feel the beat on this. But for me,
I did not feel his album that well.
Chance is still so early in his career, and to release an entire album that is beautiful for his own artistic integrity, absolutely. but I don't necessarily think it adds
Debut
to him.
Debut album.
But that also speaks to who the fuck gives a fuck about my opinion if it's for his artistic integrity and it felt good putting it out. Like I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm happy
just-
for him. It just
Yeah, I don't know.
Eh.
It really kind of clashes with the GOAT conversation for me because it's like, Chance, you are an amazing artist. You've done so much. You're doing really great things in communities and in giving back. But it's like, if that's your debut album, I want to see what else happens. I want to see more from his lyricism. I want to see more in producing. I want to see more like a full circle in the music industry.
I just want to see another album from him sometime soon, I guess.
But I think that is really, really cool. That, the big day is out. It's under Chance the Rapper, LLC. 22 songs, all about his wife.
Not all of them. But yeah, the whole time. Oh my
Pretty
God.
goddamn fucking
I
close.
just don't know where you're supposed to listen to that album. Like Coloring Book.
That's not a gym album. It's not a club
No.
album. It's not like
I don't know where I should consume that music.
it's not the Isley Brothers either. You're not going to play it to fuck. So
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know where. Like maybe I guess if I'm getting married and I'm like super duper googly in love with a woman that I don't know where this love for her comes from, because that's fucking wild to have that many songs to write about her.
Like maybe if I'm in traffic in LA and I'm just
I tried. That's where I tried to listen to it originally, was driving. And no,
You just weren't about it.
just didn't do it for me. And that's what I'm saying. Like Coloring Book, you could put that on at a party. Certain songs, not all the songs. You could put that on when you're just chilling. You could put that on when you're just hanging out with friends.
yeah.
That album you could consume that everywhere. This debut album, I'm not 100% sure what. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know. I don't want to shit on too much because I could come back in 2 episodes and be like, no, I feel him. But not right now.
I love my wife a little more this week. I feel them. I feel them. She is sitting next to us, by the way, everybody. So that's why it's a
yeah.
little extra funny.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So since we were talking about Lil Nas X and him having the longest running #1 single, which is amazing. Again, shout out to Lil Nas X, Old Town Road. On July 25th, he actually posted on Twitter, "If anything happens to me, just know I love and appreciate all of you." What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think this ties into our conversation about how him coming out when he chose to, because he came out the last day of Pride Month when he felt like it. He kind of gave everybody the middle finger, made a giant joke about it. He's a big old troll. Like, he did exactly what he wanted to in his coming out. I think that pissed people off. I think there's so much that's expected of him now. I think that people wanted to play or have him play a role and kind of follow their timeline, and he's kind of doing what he wants. He's shit posting. He has a bunch of memes that he makes. He's just having a really good time. And I absolutely think there are people that are not happy with that. And with him now having the longest running #1, I think there is going to be so much that's expected from him. Someone is going to expect a follow-up. The people that have signed him are now going to want more from him. Congratulations. You created the longest running #1. Do it again.
Yeah, now it's a sweatshop.
Yeah,
For him.
exactly. And I think that's kind of what it's tied into. I don't think there's necessarily been anything directly yet. Like, I don't think there's people sending notes to his house like, we're coming for you tomorrow.
That's wild if that is
You know what I
happening.
mean? I think it's genuinely just more so him realizing, like, fuck, this is real deal Holyfield out here in the music industry, and people aren't liking what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I get that. And the conspiracy theory me again. This is conspiracy theory hour for MC. I think that somebody higher up was pissed that he came out as gay, because now you have to make another longest running #1 hit. It can't be a gay man.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of realizing that. Because I subscribe to all the conspiracy theories in the music industry that there is a higher power that's going on. I don't want to necessarily say it's the Illuminati, but there is something else higher up that we cannot know.
Absolutely. Controls media, controls what we're consuming and what should be popularized
Yeah.
and what trends should be going on. And that's not surprising at all. You know what I mean? The U.S. government has been performing experiments on its own citizens for years.
I think Old Town Road was an accident.
Yeah.
I don't think this was meant to be the longest running.
And now that it's
one.
a gay black man that holds it, I think
Somebody's mad.
I agree. But again,
Leora
I think
Conan.
that ties into maybe the idea of they did want him to come out, but not on his timeline. You know what I mean? They maybe wanted to milk it.
Like
maybe
they wanted to
play with
parade it.
Exactly. Or tease it, or maybe hold it until Pride Month was totally over. Or, just a million different things they could have done. Or they could have been pressuring him to come out at the beginning of Pride Month. Oh, it'll help with the sales.
Yeah.
If you just do it, all the fucking queers in the world are going to want to stream your album. But it's like for him to then turn around and be like, haha, fuck you guys, and do it on the last day of Pride Month. Again, we don't know exactly how it went, but I do think that he chose his own timeline as compared to someone else's, and someone's not happy.
Yeah, it just scares me. I don't like it. I hope he doesn't wind up dead somehow.
That's what I'm saying. You got to protect that man.
Yeah. Protect Lil Nas X at all costs.
Hell yeah.
And Billy Ray.
I think he's all right. I think
don't
he's
know.
doing just
Miley
fine.
might kill him.
Dude, she has to be mad as fuck. She's like, I've been trying for years to infiltrate the black community, and my dad has to release one fucking song. He just has to get on Twitter, and people turned around and just retweet the shit out of him. He posts one photo with a bong, and everyone on Twitter loses their minds.
They're like, shout out Billy Ray. Just like we did.
And
Yeah,
she's like, God damn it.
She's
I love it. I love how mad she probably is.
she's on fuck Justice League.
What
And
the
I still can't get in there. Justice League is the producer she was dating, I believe. I want to say.
Oh God.
No, Mike Will made it. Fuck. Whatever.
Oh,
You
same.
made it sound like she fucked the entire Justice League, like
entire-
Superman, Green Lantern.
The Flash.
That's how she got back into the country community.
Yeah.
There's no kryptonite
Won-
for Superman when he's
Wonder
horny.
Woman is in the Justice League.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wonder Woman is?
Yeah.
Oh, so now she's trying to reach the gay community too.
Pandering.
Now we're talking about shit that we called though, because we did call the Miley Cyrus thing. Same episode 2. Go back and listen because we said it there. Forever 21 was sending out diet bars with all plus size orders.
Okay, so I want to spearhead this conversation.
Before you keep going, fuck you, Forever 21.
Fuck you.
I knew you were just one thing away from being total pieces of shit. And you've made it.
You were looking directly at me when you said that, so it felt like you were about to be like, fuck you.
I'm gonna fuck you, Amanda. You
And
buy
your
for
opinion.
No, just fuck Forever 21 because we called it. We said it was gonna happen soon rather than later. And what we recorded that a month ago.
Right.
And here we are now.
With them pandering to the queer community. Okay, so let's spearhead this conversation. So what happened, if you did not hear about this little bit of a scandal, is people were ordering from Forever 21 and a couple of, and I'm not even going to say plus size, it's fat women turn around and they posted like, I got my order and this is what I also got in it. And I did not order this. And it's a picture of an Atkins diet bar. And I think that's really important to note is that it's a diet bar. We're not talking about like a cute little protein bar. We're not talking about like here's a little healthy package of, you know what I mean? There are a million things in the world that you can choose to throw in as like a cute little, a sticker packer. There are plenty of companies that like to throw in little goodies.
Yeah, like we said, lip gloss, nail polish,
Exactly.
an accessory,
A
earrings.
Diet bar? Like, okay,
Yeah.
so, okay. It goes further than that, though. Women posted that, and then Forever 21 turned around and essentially tried to be like, in our defense.
You have no
And their
defense.
social media team explained it away by saying that while this was a slight oversight, and obviously it was misconstrued and what, you know what I mean? They essentially said like, while we did not quite consider the ramifications, we had a kind of oversight.
Hold on, they didn't consider the ramifications.
Yeah, they essentially said like, we did not realize how this would be. Like, we apologize. We did
What?
not mean for. So They said that they did this in conjunction with a promotion with Atkins, that they're working with them and that they have worked with plenty of third-party companies that they've included little goodies from them to kind of promo them. And then in turn, you know, that company might promo them. Number one, I've never seen any Atkins model fucking in the world or fucking Atkins be like, and I shop at Forever 21 after I eat my gross Atkins pizza. Like, and that's how I imagine it. So it's one of those things where there is no cross promotion going on, but she essentially
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She's gross Atkins pizza, and I wear Forever 21 clothes.
So okay. So they tried to claim it's third-party promotion, it's cross-promotion, da-da-da-da-da. They also tried to claim that they sent the Atkins bar in all sorts of orders, not specifically plus-size ones. They're sending them to everyone.
No, they didn't.
Everyone. And then on social media, people turned around and defended Forever 21 by posting photos of their stick-thin-ass bodies wearing 00 ass clothes, being like, I got an Atkins bar too. And it's like, all right, stick figure Susan, I don't give a fuck that you got one.
Stick figure Susan. I'm loving this. No, keep going.
It's one of those things where it obviously isn't targeted at you and it's not going to be seen as aggressive or a microaggression towards you, you little skinny person who it doesn't fucking matter. Like, the likelihood that they just threw them into random orders without it, I guarantee you it was like 3-1 on plus size to regular orders getting those goddamn diet bars. And it's just the implication, no matter what, that shouldn't have been the route that Forever 21 chose. If you're going to promo a product, which no, I think that's fake as fuck. I don't think there was any cross promotion. I don't think they were fucking had some third party deal going on with Atkins. I think Atkins probably hit them up and was like, here's some money. Just get rid of these fucking extra sample bars we have.
So do you think it was them just bashing fat people? You think this was a deliberate bash? Because I think it was. I'm not going to lie.
Yes,
I think it
and
was.
I think it is very systematic. I don't think some random person at fucking Forever 21 was like, I hate fat people. I'm putting diet bars in these orders out of this one fucking warehouse in Missouri or wherever they fucking have them. I think it is systematic in which they turn around and they thought, yeah, this is seen as like a positive promotional thing. Like, yeah, we're just encouraging them to be healthy. And it's like, realistically, that's not what diet bars encourage. It actually usually encourages really, really fucking terrible eating, health, and self-esteem behaviors, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that you even mentioned that, I remember watching the Jenny Craig commercials when I was younger. They made me so sad. I'm a little bit bigger of a guy. I always have been. That show always made me sad. Like, I hated the way I looked.
And you're like,
Jenny Craig.
And that speaks to that systematic. Like, oh, great. I should hate the way I look. I should be on this. And also, what the fuck is Forever 21's demographic? Young teen girls. In what fucking manner is it okay to send 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds diet bars in their fucking meals when we already have a fucking epidemic of teenagers fucking trying these crazy weight loss trends and diets and da-da-da-da. I think it's so fucking callous and I think it's so systematic. I think the hatred of fat people is so systematic that you can't just let them fucking live and order some goddamn clothes online. Like, you really just couldn't let people order clothes. It had to be a statement. You know what I mean?
They had to make a thing out of it.
Exactly.
They couldn't help it.
And I think that's what it all ties into. It ties into the systematicness of just being like, well, we hate fat people, but if we pretend it's under the guise of caring about your health, it's okay.
Yeah, no.
And so for Forever 21 to be like,
21.
yeah, it was just an oversight. We just didn't know. No, that was callous and purposeful.
How do
like,
you not? I don't.
I just hope Rob Lowe has something to say about it.
Rob Lowe.
He does those commercials, and I love him. And I hope he's not like, haha, yeah, fuck fat people, because I love you, Rob Lowe.
That's
but
a
also
very random love.
It's
not.
I mean, not that I want to go into like fat phobia and how fucking awful our society is to fat people, but all I have to say is I am considered at this point in my life to be an average weight. I am still a 1X or 2X at Forever 21. At a Target, I'm a medium. So it's one of those things where it's like, you are encouraging unhealthy behavior.
Yeah, that's gross.
Like, it's really disgusting that stores act like they don't partake.
I didn't think
in
about it like
this.
that.
Yeah.
Because that is gross. Like, there's a difference between being a thick woman and a fat woman. I'm not saying either one is wrong, but there is a difference there.
And the fact that you have 15-year-old girls thinking that they are obesely overweight and disgusting because they wear an extra large at your store and you're sending them diet bars. Yeah, that's a little more than a slight oversight. Like,
fuck you, Forever 21.
fuck you. Yeah. Okay, so the note on my... Okay, so I have bullet points when we talk about things during the episode, and mine just says, Machine Gun Kelly is annoying. So if you would like to build off of that, totally.
Okay, so MGK was on a show that will rename nameless because fuck that show. It's going to rename nameless. If you know, you know. I'll put it that way. I'm just going to leave it like that. If you know, you know. You know the show because you may have seen him on it. You may follow the show still. Shout out to Wayno. Shout out to Nadeska. DJ Academics. Get the fuck out of here. But he was on a show, and he said the beef between him and M was annoying by the internet trying to muddy it all the time. But if you go back and you look, Mr. Kelly, you are primary suspect number one in that whole argument. You were on the internet posting things, sharing things, saying things. You were, Kelly. Nobody else was. There may have been memes going around about you getting bodied by M. You did. Sorry. I hated Rap Devil. Not the point that I'm making here. You can't sit here and say that you're annoyed by something
that you contributed to.
Yeah, you helped it. You're the one that's helping these memes with you saying things.
So, and something I want to say, as someone who recognizes Eminem as a legend but doesn't fucking like him, there were plenty of people who supported you, Machine Gun Kelly. There were plenty of people who turned around and they were like, yeah, Eminem is an angry ass, old ass, whack ass man. He doesn't realize he's already solidified his celebrity status. Why does he have to shit on every fucking new artist that's ever come around? Beside the fact of that being his personality, and that just is Eminem's personality, we all know he built his career off of that. Do I think he's pathetic at fucking 40 years old to still be rapping about fucking rappers that are 19 who fucking practically look up to him and would suck his dick? Like, yeah, I think it's pretty pathetic. God. Like, Jesus Christ, Eminem, you sit in a mansion all goddamn day and that's what you think about? I fucking hate these new ass artists. These fucking loser ass fucking, I'm a rap god. Like, I get it. There were plenty of people who supported Machine Gun Kelly and they were like, yeah, dude, Eminem does need to get off of his high horse. He does need to be fucking kinder to newer artists or more supportive, whatever you want to fucking say in the world, or just the fact of people feeling like Eminem is past his time. That's also valid. However you want to look at it, plenty of people supported Machine Gun Kelly in his stance. Plenty of people still do. It's also just been relatively forgotten about. It's one of those things where MGK still has his fans, Eminem still has his fans. So for him to turn around and now backtrack
a year later,
it's like, dude, you had the support. It's not like fucking this is some nameless beef that you fucking lost and no one listened to or liked you in. Like, plenty of people supported you, and now plenty of people are going to turn around and be like, wow, dude, you're kind of a bitch.
You're acting like Eminem right now.
Like, wow.
Why are you bringing something back up a year ago? Leave it the fuck alone. If you think you won, you won.
I think it doesn't help that the person's show, who again shall remain nameless, obviously fucking poked and prodded at it and even brought it up like, yeah, are you and Eminem gonna fucking reconnect? Are you guys gonna fucking quash the beef? It's like, shut the fuck up. Why?
Why'd you even have him on there?
Like,
if you're for the culture, this is off topic because this has nothing to do with Machine Gun Kelly. But that show, if you are here for the fucking culture, why are you making a mockery of the culture?
Right. And it's one of those things where I get it. MGK just released an album. He is on tour right now. He is doing his own thing. Talk to him about that. You are contributing to this fucking fast
buffoonery.
Yes.
Not even consumption. Buffoonery.
Like the fact that every artist only gets popular off of fucking controversy and needs that shit to stay in the spotlight and then needs to release a million songs. It all ties into what is fucking wrong right now in the industry. And that fucking contributes to it. That alone is such a huge part of it.
That show is what the fuck is wrong because they highlight all these fuck shits that these fuckity fucks are doing that I don't want to hear about.
Right. It's so much more about the drama and like what's going on. And it has nothing to do with anything
like,
anymore.
Like you have a debate here and there. Who's better? do you think Young Thug's better? Shut the fuck up. I understand that you're trying to stay relevant and that's their thing. They're trying to stay relevant. That will never happen here. I don't care about relevant rappers. Well, not say I don't care about relevant rappers, but I'm not going to try to stay relevant by keeping up with every single fucking rapper that comes out and has some kind of controversy, says something wrong. Like Blueface is splattered all over that fucking show. I'm not talking about Blueface here. That's not happening.
Right.
So just fuck that show. Sorry.
But again, it ties into like, dude, why the fuck would you even bring that up? Because because you know it's gonna fucking be clickbait and it's gonna get views.
Yeah.
And guess what MGK said about Eminem this time? And it's like, dude, you really, I don't care. I don't care. And it's one of those things where it sounds like Machine Gun Kelly doesn't even care that much anymore. He doesn't even know what fucking happened. He's like, fuck, I don't know. Fuck, I was drunk. Fuck, I don't know. Social media, whatever.
It was really fucking annoying, and I'm not even gonna say the rest that I have written down because what I found out later on was actually just today. Machine Gun Kelly really tried to boycott Swedish Fish.
Dude, I heard about
Until
that
A$AP
shit.
Rocky was released.
That's the fucking buffoonery you're putting on your show? That's exactly what Russ was talking about when he was talking about misappropriation of the culture.
Exactly.
That's misappropriation. You're poking fun. I don't know. Maybe Machine Gun Kelly is just that fucking stupid, and he didn't know that Sweden had nothing to do with Swedish Fish. He could be that fucking stupid.
Or maybe he really is that fucking ridiculous and fucking that much of a clown in the culture that he's like, yeah, I'm going to make light of this really serious. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't give a fuck about A$AP Rocky being locked up, but it's like it really sounds like he just wanted to have something to say about the situation. Yeah, boycott Swedish Fish, guys.
Yeah.
Like, bro, who the fuck? What the fuck?
Do you know how stupid you fucking sound right now, Kelly? Like, honestly. Like, and if that was a joke, I'm sorry. I did care about the whole ASAP thing because it was bullshit. And then for the whole Future thing to happen and that guy is walking free that knocked the security guard out, that's bullshit. That just goes to show you that was a systematic thing for Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
They saw a black American do something wrong in their country on videotape. They're gonna push it to the full extent.
And I guess the way I'm putting it is how do I word this? I guess it's one of those things where there were already so many people going to bat for A$AP Rocky and like they're like, we're getting him out. I find that I myself couldn't even put that much energy towards it because it's one of those things where it's like, obviously it's a big deal. Obviously fucking hella people are reporting on it and they're on it and fucking people are working on getting him out and shit like that. But MGK is just another one of those fucking people who makes me not give a shit about the situation because it's like, bro, shut the fuck up with your jokes. Like, I don't really care. There are black people in America shot every goddamn day and you want to talk about boycotting Swedish Fish.
It was just fucking stupid. It made me very angry, so that's why I kind of went on the tangent of the show that he was on. And then for him to be on there, it's like, oh, so this is just a joke to you guys.
Yep.
This is just one big fucking joke. I don't understand how anybody can support something that's just a big fucking joke like that. Like, if you're here for the culture and you're a show about the culture, be for the culture. Why didn't you have Ferg on the show?
Anyone.
Why did you bring
else?
fucking Machine Gun Kelly up there?
Fucking Ferg, who said he's going to be dropping a new album. Chance the Rapper, who did just drop a new album. Fucking Nas, who just dropped Lost Tapes Part 2.
Oh, Nas ain't going up there.
Fucking
Nas ain't going up there.
But I'm saying like all of these different people who are doing things and fucking shit's going on, and it's like MGK.
MGK.
It's the money they had. He only wanted like $200 in a Mountain Dew.
Not even a Code Red.
No, he just like
he wanted the original
whatever.
diet.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, all right, this week we got him.
Yeah, so that was my fucking just my anger.
Speaking of, I mean, Lost Tapes Part 2. Cool.
I thought it was pretty dope.
Like
I've heard a few songs off of it so far. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I just haven't had the time, to be honest.
I feel like Nas is such a fucking name. Like, that's such a fucking like a power. It's like, dude, I don't even need to listen to it. I know it's good.
I thought that before he put out the album with Kanye.
Okay.
I didn't like the album. I'm not shitting on Nas.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure it was a lot of artistic air quotes there from Kanye that had to do with the album because he produced the whole album. and it just wasn't my taste. I don't want to hear a 808s and Heartbreaks from Nas. I don't want to hear something so artistic and ha ha ha, like look at me, look what I didn't want to hear that. Nas, he's a dope ass artist. Put him on an Alchemist beat, put him on a Supreme beat, put him on fucking a Timberland beat. Let him fucking rap. I don't need all the extras from Nas. I don't need it.
I feel that. And Kanye is such a fucking extra ass person.
Dude, did you even listen to that album at all? Trust me, you see all the fucking extra ass shit that Kanye did. And I just didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. And I don't know if it just because it wasn't garnered towards me, I just didn't like it. But Lost Tapes 2 is definitely classic Nas. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he was able to come back so quick and put out another album. Since we're talking about albums, though, are you guys excited at all about Port of Miami 2 from Rick Ross?
I really am, especially since the track list has been released. I think it's looking like it's shaping up to be a fucking dope album.
Yeah.
Like,
the song with Wale is really dope. I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to it, but you guys should listen to it.
no, I haven't actually, and I really want to, because that being the first song on the album, I think that's...
It speaks to something.
Yeah, it
well,
really
Wale
does.
was with MMG, so I guess that might be why. But the song is dope because we were talking last episode how Wale didn't get the flowers he deserved either.
Right.
And I think Rick Ross putting him as #1 on the 10-year anniversary of his, I would say his most acclaimed album was Port of Miami. So for him to be having Wale at #1, that's pretty dope.
And I think it's really cool that he is doing this anniversary marking of releasing Port of Miami too, because we talk so much about the fast consumption and consumer culture and just how much we fucking zip through things and expect, albums from artists. And this really takes us back to an era that's just a bit different. It's kind of just before the streaming services and just before those types of platforms really started emerging. So doing Port of Miami 2, I think brings us back to that, and I think can really draw people into other parts of his discography. You know what I mean? And kind of, someone's going to listen to that and be like, oh, fuck, what was the first one? Oh, what's the shit that dropped from him in 2007? What's it, you know what I mean?
Damn, that's no? 2009 is when he dropped it. That doesn't sound right. Because I feel like Hustling was on.
I'm just saying, like, that early shit.
No, I know. I'm
You're
just. My
like,
brain started turning.
I need to know his discography.
Yeah, because my
now.
brain just
When he
started
did
turning,
Latest Flame with Usher.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was around the same time period as Hustling. Every day I'm hustling,
No.
hustling.
Hustling was, I feel like, way before that.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 2007, 2006.
So where I originally heard that song, and it makes me laugh when I think about it now,
Williams.
that fucking Cat Williams him doing the shopping cart dance and everything.
Oh my God, I
Dude,
fucking hate
I
you.
love it. I fucking love it.
He's all, every day I'm hustling, and just knocking shit off the
Yes,
shelf.
dude, all his dances.
Oh, damn, yeah, when food stamps hit, that's exactly how you feel. I miss food stamps, man.
Okay. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I'm just off. Like, Port of Miami came out in August 2006, and then March 2008, Trilla came out, and I fucking said 2007. So it's like, I'm in there.
Oh, you're good.
I was there. I was there.
So Port of Miami came out in 2006?
Yeah, so it's looking like it's like a little bit further than the 10-year anniversary. It's like 13, but maybe that shit didn't really start. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. That's
I don't
weird. It's weird they're saying it's the 10-year anniversary. when
Yeah.
It's not. We'll look more into that.
We will look more into that.
The Raps
but
and Raps detectives.
we're going to have a new podcast out. We are not. Please don't look forward to that from us. But no, it looks like it's shaping up to be a super good album. I'm really excited personally for the song that he has with A Boogie with a Hoodie and Denzel Curry.
He has-
Boogie with a Hoodie.
Both of them in the same
Yeah,
song?
they're on Running the Streets. It's track 12.
Ooh.
So that looks like it's going to be fucking good. The other one that I think I would really, really be looking forward to, besides fucking the one with Wale, would, that's actually hard. I think fucking.
I want to hear the one with him and Meek Mill.
Yeah, he has Meek Mill, Swizz Beatz, and Dej Loaf. And, like, don't get me wrong, I like Swizz Beatz, but I think I'm more excited for fucking to hear Meek Mill.
Try me. I want to hear him just because they did do a lot of songs like back in the day.
Yeah.
So I want to see how Meek Mill's growing up and Rick Ross's growing up, what kind of song that's going to sound like now in this time and era.
I think that'll sound really good though.
I hope so.
Because they both have kind of come a long way.
A long way.
Yeah, especially
that was
Meek.
like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Whenever MMG was like really popping. That was back when everybody had to have the click. Ain't nobody fucking with my click.
Oh.
Click. Yeah, it was around that time. Did you guys want to get sad or no?
I really didn't want to, considering that seemed like a lot to do right now in this moment. I was going to bring up, since you were talking about Port of Miami 2 dropping, YBN Cordae just dropped his debut album.
Man, shout out to YBN Cordae. The album was
Good
dope.
job.
It's been dope so far. I've heard a few tracks off of it.
I enjoyed your fucking freshman cypher, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, his freshman cypher was dope, too.
I don't know if we talked about ciphers at all last time.
No, we did.
either.
We have not talked about the XXL at all. But have all of them came out yet? I was
Yeah.
kind of waiting till all of them came out.
Yeah. It was just those three. The 3 videos.
That's it?
Yeah. They only do a
Oh,
list
because
of
they
like
put like
10
four
to
of them
13.
in there.
Yeah. One of them had 4 and 2 of them had 3 or something like that.
So there's only 10 people on the freshman
Yeah.
cover this year. Huh.
But I mean, we can talk about them if you want, because I can pretty much just off the top of my head talk
I haven't
about
watched them enough yet. Let me watch them first.
Okay.
I've only really seen the one with Meg and
It
YB and Cordae.
Sucks waiting another week on them. I feel like they came out forever ago.
We were not prepared for this.
No, we weren't.
Okay,
Fuck.
so XXL freshman freestyles. How'd you feel about them? Who stood out to you out of the freshman class this year? Cyphers freestyles the same shit. Yeah.
2 separate ones.
No, ma'am.
Did 2 separate videos.
Yeah, I know. But nowadays, a freestyle and a cipher is both written.
Right. Okay, so if we're going to talk about the ciphers, MC has not listened to them quite enough,
I haven't
and that's
listened to all of
totally
them.
fine, but I will go ahead and bust out the conversation on this one. So if you have not listened to the freshman ciphers yet that are released by XXL, essentially this year we had it spearheaded with 3 female artists and then a few male artists.
Huge female artist.
Yeah. And this year's cipher, starting with the first one that came out was Blueface, YBN Cordae, and Rico Nasties. Then the next day, DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, YK Osiris, and Lil Mosey's came out. And then on the third day, Roddy Ricch, Comethazine, and Tierra Wax came out.
That's kind of a shitty place to put Tierra Whack.
Dude, you are fucking telling me.
I would have rather seen her with YBN Cordae, Meg, and Tierra Whack. That's what I would. That's
Yeah.
what I would have put.
But if you haven't seen them at all yet, I think I'll just start literally top to bottom on them. So starting with Blueface, YBN Cordae, and Rico Nasty. So it's Rico that starts first, then it's YBN Cordae, then it ends off with Blueface. Rico, I think, did a phenomenal job on it. She really held her own. She fucking spit so fast. She had a fire flow on it. You know, she really bodied the beat more than anything. Like, it wasn't even that she was more impressive than the other people she was with. It's just the fact of, like, that beat, you don't even fucking hear it practically. You hear her. You know what I mean? And I think that is so dope from an artist. Because I think so often we face the issue of fucking, you know, their beats can kind of overpower them. You know what I mean? We hear a lot of music from artists where it's like, wow, they sound okay, but like it's the beat that I'm hearing more than anything, or it's this fire production.
Like, it's never the words that incite somebody's like, damn, I fuck with that beat though.
Exactly. And so for hers, I think for me to have just heard her flow more than anything really speaks to her talent. It was so fucking good. And then, you know, in my opinion, their cipher was like the friendliest of all of them. The 3 of them are fucking hyping each other up. So while she's rapping, fucking YBN Cordae's in the background, fucking him and Blueface are doing the whoa next to each other, fucking while she's rapping, like, and they're hitting it on the beat with her. And yeah, he's in the background saying like, oh, ooh, like just kind of being her hype man almost. And it was really fucking cool to hear, because then she ends her line on Don't Make Me Mad, and all of a sudden that's where YBN Cordae picks up. He's all, don't make me mad. Don't Make Me Mad. And they do a beat switch and they slow it down for him and he jumps into his. So it was so versatile but connected. It was really, really cool. I just really enjoyed hers. And then YBN Cordae, in my opinion, did the best of all three of them. He had a real control of his flow. And to me, it was very reminiscent of like 90s East Coast. I loved kind of the slow beat he had with it. I loved the low tone that he had going on. It was just really, really good. Surprisingly enough, I think Blueface somewhat held his own, which I wouldn't usually say for him. I'm not a fan of him. I've never really listened to...
Bold statement for this podcast.
I know.
I'm not going to say in general, but for this podcast, that's a bold statement.
I've never really listened too much by him, except for hearing just garbage shit. So, in my opinion, you know, he was definitely the worst of the three of them, but whereas I would fucking give them, like, easily, you know, 8.5s to 9s, I think that he had, like, a solid, like, 6.8 to 7.
I'll definitely have to go listen to that one then.
Yeah, like he did somewhat hold his own. He had a couple good little lines. Like, it wasn't too bad. Fucking, and again, YBN Cordae is in the background, like, hyping him up. And it sounds so good with them all being somewhat connected. Oh my God. Who the fuck decided to put YK Osiris and Lil Mosey with DaBaby and Megan Thee Stallion? It's literally, someone posted a meme and was like, it's like when fucking you're the two smartest kids in class and you get linked up with the two kids who ditch every day to get high at lunch and don't even show up half the time. Like, fuck, dude. Okay, and here's the thing that makes me mad. They start with Lil Mosey. So they start Garbage, jump to Megan Thee Stallion, go Fire, go to YK Osiris, so they go Garbage again, and then they end it with DaBaby.
I don't even know who YK Osiris is. I never even heard of him until
he was singing, and he should not have been singing.
Oh.
That's the best thing that I can tell you about that.
So what happens when a rapper figures out they're not good without autotune?
See, it's one of those things where I think he's trying so hard to be like not the R&B one, but like the singing one of this XXL. He wants to be that. But he probably should have let, like, the producers and everybody doing it know, because he's just sounding ridiculous on the beats when he's trying to sing, and everybody else is just chopping the shit, like, you know?
Yeah, DaBaby killed that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he tried to...
and that's
she
the funny
want
thing.
me. Like, that wasn't good, dude. That wasn't good at all.
And that's the funny thing is I think they went bad, good, and it's such a dramatic shift. It's like, damn, you purposefully did these kids dirty. Because Lil Mosey literally has a line that's like, this shit's a lame-ass beat, or it's a whack-ass beat, or something like that. And fucking, he says something else, and that's literally his most memorable fucking verse from it. And then fucking all of a sudden, it's Megan right after him, who just...
Yeah, she killed that shit, man.
On top of the beat. So it's like, oh, fuck, that... Damn, dude, that must have hurt to literally be like, this is a whack-ass beat, and then to have her kill that shit. He looks mad as fuck in the background in his big-ass fake white fur coat. Like,
dude, that fur coat was ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
And then it goes in, okay, so I don't even have to say it. Megan Thee Stallion killed it. She's in a cute-ass hot pink sweatsuit. She's looking cute with her hair up in a bun. Her and DaBaby are, like, hyping each other up in the backgrounds while they're fucking rapping, you know what I mean? Nodding their heads, doing their shit.
And I wanted to talk about the sweatsuit, tracksuit, whatever you call it, that she was wearing, because I really like the fact that they didn't over sexualize her for the freshman cover.
Exactly, it was such a classic not classic, but like a regular kind of suit.
Like, that's a fucking look.
Yeah,
not that. See, but that's why I like that they
but it's
didn't
such a don't. In my opinion, that's such like a, how do I word this? Like, when I see a male MC in fucking, like, gray sweatpants and a hoodie, like how DaBaby showed up, it's like, ooh, I know you're about to spit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I mean.
That's how I felt seeing her.
They didn't simplify. Well, I cannot think of the word I'm trying to say. But the bar stood out. It wasn't about what Megan looked like. They really put her talent on display. There you go. Yeah. No. So I really like that. I really fucking appreciated whoever did that.
I totally feel that.
And that's something that you notice in that video, too, how Lil Mosey, when he first goes on, looks ridiculous in his fucking fluffy white coat. And then Megan comes on, looks like, you know, like you said.
She looks like she's chilling around the house.
Exactly. Like
she's sitting in bars.
And then what's his face comes on, and it looks like he's wearing a bulletproof vest, but I don't think it is.
It's
That's
YK
the
Osiris.
thing now.
He's wearing something weird. It's like
They're
some
just-
weird dual tone in his shirt or something.
And
Because
then
he's
you get-
not wearing a vest. I couldn't tell.
and
what
then
the
you
fuck
get
he's
the
wearing.
baby.
It
in his
looks like a
sweatsuit.
bulletproof vest, but it's
Yeah.
a thing now.
And then you get the baby in his fucking just sweatshirt, and that's the thing. The ones who sucked the most were the ones who were almost
Flashy.
wearing this kind of like ridiculous outfit, and the ones who bodied it were the ones who just literally came in probably out of bed or just shopping at the store for some fucking shit. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't
it was
know.
dope.
YK Osiris just did a really bad job. But they ended it off with DaBaby, and they gave him a 2 minute, it's like 2 minutes and 12 or 20 second slot, which is very, very long for an XXL cipher. But I don't want to tie into like fucking people being like, he dropped that verse before, and then other people defending him and being like, well, you don't know that they fucking record ciphers earlier in the year anyways. So it's like, there's been so much back and forth about it. No matter what you want to say, DaBaby fucking killed it.
Yeah, he did.
He had a fire ass verse. He fucking dropped a stack of money on the floor in a fucking black sweater and bodied everyone. Fucking YK Osiris has the biggest smile in his face on the background, like he's looking
So
up to his
amazed.
childhood hero or something. He's like, oh my God.
Well, it definitely
my
is something
God.
that will go down in history.
Yeah.
And I guess the only reason I didn't watch it, because I don't want to sit here on this podcast and be like, oh, for the culture, and then I didn't watch it. And I guess I didn't watch it just because, to me now, the freshman cover is a joke.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke.
Oh, yeah.
Like it started off being such an important like icon in the culture, and now it's
It's
like,
just a money grab. You're just
yeah,
getting
you'll
clicks
put
and
anyone on
views.
that shit.
Like, oh, comethazine, who's that? He's
Which,
not that
okay,
good.
and that's what I want to talk about next is Roddy Ricch, Comethazine, and Tierra Whack. So it was Comethazine, Roddy Ricch, and then Tierra Whack. And oh my God.
Tierra
like-
Whack was the only good one on that.
Dude, they really fucking put her with two people who like, she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. That's rude. That's rude. You really should have fucking maybe fucking done it. I don't know. I would have traded fucking Blueface, and I would have put her with Rico Nasty and YBN Corday before I ever fucking put her with those two, because
Okay.
Comethazine did a terrible job. He sounds so hard like he's trying to be 21 Savage. Like, I want to fucking, I kill, I snap.
That's the only song I've ever heard from him, too, was that, I can't even think of the name of it anymore.
It's probably not important.
It's his most famous song, and that's definitely what I got from it. It was a 21 Savage vibe.
Like, dude, you're trying so hard to sound angry and like you're fucking this serial killer vibe, and like, oh, I'm furrowing my brows so you can tell how mad I am. And it's like, nah, this is uninteresting. I literally give that like a 2. Like that's nothing.
damn.
Like, you get out of my
Womp,
fucking face.
womp.
New button.
I don't know. I would put him, YK Osiris, and Lil Mosey as like the definite worst, and then I would put fucking Roddy Ricch and Blueface as doing okay, and then I would absolutely put YBN Corday, Rico Nasty, DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, and Tierra Whack as like solid choices that are either A or B artists. You know what I mean?
They're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
And that's the thing is Roddy Ricch's wasn't necessarily terrible, but it's like, I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to that kid. Like, it wasn't anything interesting.
Yeah, he's all right. But I guess that's wild that you say that too, because when I look back at it, they put out all the other freshman ciphers, and they put the one out with Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, He Who Shall Rename Nameless.
Yeah. And
And,
Denzel Curry.
No, Denzel Curry. Yeah, Denzel Curry was in it. And everybody said that was the wackest
That's funny.
cipher. And those were the only people out of that freshman cover that went somewhere. So it's kind of wild that you say that, because now I'm like, damn, is Comethazine the next fucking 21 Savage though? Is he gonna get that
No,
recognition?
I don't fucking think so. But I will say Tierra Whack was fucking fire. Like,
She's going somewhere.
She had them turn off the beat altogether, and she did a genuine freestyle. Like, that was fucking practically as genuine as it comes when you listen to it.
You don't think she wrote it beforehand?
No, I actually don't. Because you listen to her and you listen to how she rhymes certain things and she takes a second and kind of flicks her finger and ties it to another rhyme. Like, no, that was on the spot. I absolutely believe that was on the spot. I think she had them cut the beat. And I think she might have fallback words she chooses, like with her being like the queen of her city or fucking like the ruler of a city or fucking like a teacher. You know what I mean? Like she has certain things that she might fall back on. But no, that sounded raw. That sounded raw as fuck. Like she literally just had them turn off the beat and she just kind of did her thing. And I've listened to other freestyles by her before, and you know, something I really like is you can tell how genuine they are from her because she has that occasional hiccup. You know what I mean? She'll be freestyling and doing something and all of a sudden she'll be like and then she'll jump onto something else, like, and I think that is so genuine in an artist. And some people would be like, oh no, she's fucking up, like, oh no, she fucking should have had this plan already. And it's like, no, that is what I want to hear from an artist. I want to hear those little hiccups. I want to hear you fumble on a word and then come up with something else different on the spot. I want to hear what you can do. And I think she is so talented, and to not know more about her, to not have her fucking name blasted everywhere is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Whack.
And I think that just goes back to what we were talking about with not having the right management, because I don't know if it's necessarily not her having the right management or the right people haven't heard her yet.
Right.
Because like we said last episode, I put Tierra Whack in a J. Cole category.
Yeah.
She's dope and doesn't get the respect she deserves.
No, and people don't even know her name.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people don't even know her fucking name.
That's crazy because this is probably the first freshman cover I've known a lot more of the artists, except for I really don't know who Rowdy Rich is, Comethazine, and YK Osiris, and
Right.
Lil Mosey.
Like the shitty ones. You don't know who those ones are, but
four,
like,
I had no idea who
but
they
the
were.
solid artists they chose, it's like, oh damn, I know this person. I know this person.
I wish Megan wouldn't have took it.
Really?
I wish she wouldn't have done it.
Why is that?
Just because I think, for me personally, the XXL freshman cover is so outdated. It's such a money grab. I don't know how much the money they paid her or how much money they are making off having her on there because of her core fan base. Because Megan has
Right.
a cult-like fan base.
Right. She has such a large following.
So I just wish me personally, I wish she wouldn't have done it. I wish whoever was her manager would have stood by her side and said, "You don't need this.
Right.
This isn't where you need to go."
Because you already have the popularity you need. These are fucking kids who fucking don't even have the fucking followings you do. They just get views because their fucking video dropped on World Star Hip Hop. Like,
yeah, most of the time that is what it is. It's a clickbait. It's a clickbait thing. Like DaBaby has proven himself as an MC to me, as a wordsmith. But beforehand, the only reason we knew him was because of a fight he was in. An altercation that happened. He shot that guy inside a Walmart. Those are the only things that we knew from him. We didn't know his music. So I just wish Megan wouldn't have been on there. And ever since they dropped, Benny the Butcher actually did an interview where he said he was offered to be on there. He didn't even have to try out. He was offered to be on XXL. And Jay was like, don't do it. When Jay-Z's telling you not to do something like that, I don't know, bro. I'm listening to Jay.
No, I get that because you watch the little table talk interviews they do after, and fucking Megan and DaBaby both are like, they both have great personas, so they're interviewing super well, but you can tell that they just don't really
care.
Yeah, like you can tell Megan, she's like, yeah, this is such a great honor, like fucking yeah, XXL has such a history, like ha, 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 ha. And it's like, yeah,
that's about all you guys got.
All of the fucking interviews were so goddamn awkward. You had like one person or two people really trying, and then the other ones just being like, yeah, it's like dope to be here, yeah, for sure.
Gross.
No, yeah, like I just, yeah, it was a cool honor, like, yeah, freshman ciphers, like, yeah.
I want to do my own freshman ciphers and put good people on that don't have anything to do with money.
I think that was the idea at first.
Originally, like when you saw Chance on there, nobody was even putting Chance in the category,
Right.
or Hobson.
I agree. Okay, so I'm sorry though. You bringing up Chance just makes me laugh because of it. That video going around.
God damn it!
And them being like, "Oh my god, did you guys ever hear when Chance bodied the fucking XXL freshman cipher?" And it's him and I love my wife. She's so great. I love my wife. She's so great. She's great. She's great. But in the background, it's still everyone fucking losing their minds and hyping him up. That was so fucking funny. I've loved the shit that's come. I've loved the shit that's come from this.
Oh my god. Besides that, guys, I think that's it.
Kendrick Lamar had a kid, his first one. Congrats
shout out
to you,
to him. Was it
dude.
a
That's
baby?
pretty dope. We mentioned J. Cole when he did, so
Was it
congrats.
a baby? Was it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Okay. Come on, was it a baby? Or was
God,
it
I
fully
fucking
grown?
hope so.
Trying to push out a 6
Like,
foot.
no, dude. This is Alien versus Predator now. It was not a baby.
It's a grown ass man.
Oh my god. Just a fully grown woman comes
You guys
out.
are ridiculous. I'm talking about like a monster hybrid coming out of this woman, and you guys are like a fully grown man.
What was that movie with the Wayans brothers?
Oh my god, where his face is on the
Yeah.
baby's body.
Oh,
That's what
Isn't it
comes
like
out.
Little Man or something
Yeah.
like that?
He was a midget.
I know that.
Yeah, like we know the premise,
Okay.
But
but
I'm
it-
saying like
he
that's what he
pretended to be
comes
the
out
baby.
looking
Yeah.
like
Oh,
and
God,
sounding
Jesus
like as
fucking
well.
Christ. Congratulations, Kendrick Lamar.
Just put
yeah,
a nipple
good
on
on
a
you.
40.
We're so happy for you and your fiance. You guys have been together for forever and ever and ever now. So obviously this had to be planned, or else it would have happened a long time ago. So good on you guys. I'm happy for y'all.
Plan things are scary like that.
But that's pretty cool. Super happy for him. Other than that, I mean, nothing has super duper really been going on. If there's anything you guys have heard about that maybe we haven't, that hasn't crossed our timelines, hit us up. Let us know. If there's something locally going on with some music artists, definitely tell us about that. We're always down to cover some local things.
I actually wanted to show you guys an artist from Bakersfield that if you're interested in interviewing.
Yeah.
Because I'll let you hear his music first. I'm not going to play it at the end of this or nothing like that, but he's probably tired. It's like 9 o'clock.
I'm just like, Brittany, I hope you didn't do anything.
She's all bad.
Anyways.
So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys listen to his music. Hopefully you guys will see an interview from him coming on soon, and maybe I'll put a song in next week's episode.
Right. If
So
we
the
end up liking
listeners
him.
can get a little bit more familiarized and you guys can hear him.
But yeah, honestly, and if there's local artists you guys are hearing, for sure, just hit us up. Let us know that shit. We want to hear
yeah.
about what's going on. We want to know. I mean, we talk about things that hit more national news and headlines and shit, but when it comes to the music industry, shit's happening on every level, everywhere,
Yeah, man,
all the
shout
time.
out to the Addicts. They're making fucking waves right now. So
Right? What's the outro song going to be?
Anthrax by Ill Addicts.
Oh, so it's just an Ill Addicts episode.
Yeah.
I
felt
like
bad.
that.
So speaking on more low key and like not necessarily local, but more low key artists, this episode is just, we're going to do our outro song to be for Ill Addicts as well. Just like our intro song was. They've just been putting out some really dope shit. They're making their own waves, kind of making their own lane. Their music is really, really good. I know that we've kind of spoken on them a few times in regards to that dumb shit with fucking Jaden Smith on his new album. And also just kind of the cool stuff that they've been putting out. They are smaller, lesser known, so give them a stream, give them a view, go give them a follow. They're always really nice. They're really interactive. The music's good.
Yeah, you guys are dope. So besides that, I think we're gonna sign off with Ill Addicts Anthrax.
And but as always, thank you all for listening. Thanks for spending your Sunday with us and hanging
Hope
out.
you got this far. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everything that's going on. Appreciate everybody for listening. Shout out to Nigeria.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Shout out to fucking Australia and Nigeria. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, this is Anthrax by the Ill Addicts, man. I hope you guys love this as much as I did. I think this song didn't get the recognition it deserved at the time whenever they dropped it. So here you go.
We will see you next week.
I always feel like somebody watching me. They want my broccoli, so they've been planting seed. But I won't let them. I gotta sweat them. Won't disappoint them. Got lots of fed up. Let me get 'em shoot. Let me get 'em shoot. Perched up right on top the roof. Close the lens, they watching you. Even when you watch it through. Better watch it back. Make amends, add a stack. They will do you like that, so I'm never checking the mail. Anthrax peeking, trying to send me to hell. White powder leaking, I don't care about the smell. Cause you don't know when they watching your trail. I'm never checking the mail. Anthrax peeking, trying to send me to hell. White powder leaking, I don't care about the smell. Cause you don't know when they plotting your fail.
I always feel like somebody jocking me, but they can't copy me because my pace is clean. I keep the paces clean, big nettle cheddar cheese. The money good to me, so I stay faithful. See, I'm trying to make some moves, get a check or two, one split it with the crew. The paper always move. I'm sick, I got the flu. The diamonds looking blue, but you ain't got a clue. The haters always choose.
I'm never checking the mail. Anthrax peeking, trying to send me to hell. White powder leaking, I don't care about the smell. Cause you don't know when they watching your trail. I'm never checking the mail. Anthrax peeking, trying to send me to hell.